the closing doors, please.
So we document, just to give you guys a brief background, with Persist Print, we document the 5 boroughs.
Yeah.
And obviously in the midst of a crisis, we thought it was important to come out and see how, New Yorkers are doing today.
Yeah.
So maybe you guys could just give us, a little background on, how you guys are feeling, what you guys are seeing, and, what you're doing out here today.
Well, I called my friend up here to come here and do a collabo drawing. I did a painting from my crib last night in Crown Heights, where I live. I used to sell art on the street over here in Soho. And like many others, I'm out of work. I don't have children in tow, so it could be a lot worse, and usually is. The irony is, well, I work outside, so it's personal and selfish, right? I turned 61 February 7th, and spring is my favorite season of the 4, followed closely by the green leaves of summer, because I'm an outsider in so many ways, figuratively and literally. So, spring is renewal. Today's Good Friday, isn't it? The day of the crucifixion. Easter, I was raised Catholic, like a Jew. It's a brand. I remember the story, like any good story, true or not. It's time of spring. It's renewal. The flowers are bloomed. It's life. And the whole world's surrounded by death. And so is our great city. I'm class of 77, the year the Trailblazers took it. 777 people died in New York City yesterday. You probably know that, right? Yeah, it's shitty, it's awful, and it's springtime, and it's beautiful. What an irony, right? The Wizard of Oz has nothing on this nonfiction.
Do you have any opinion on how everybody's handling it, like the government is handling it? And
well, Governor Cuomo is pretty sober. I was a boy, I wanted to be president, and everybody would laugh at me, I go ahead and laugh, I expect your vote in 20 years. Everybody else wanted to be a fireman or a truck driver. Well, I got over that a long time ago. But I think Cuomo, even de Blasio is a little more, they're under the gun. Can you imagine having your job anyway? It's a hard job, but god damn. You guys are doing something great about it. I'm solo enterprise. I'm a ridiculous optimist. I have an HIV virus. I got that one. I don't need another one. That'd be, wouldn't it? Thank God for Medicaid. Thank you, taxpayer, for Medicaid. Thanks to the roads, the meds, not the bombs, but I always said we don't call where our taxes go, do we? No, we don't. So I count my blessings every day. I take my unaffordable pill. It keeps me able to get paint all over my hands in this beautiful park. So, I don't need another virus, and nobody needs one at all.
Do you see any comparisons of the HIV pandemic or epidemic at the time compared to what we're going through now? Like, is anything comparable?
Wow, that was a hell of a time. I've been HIV since '97. I full-blown AIDS since '02. My best, very good friend of mine died in 1990, the same year Keith Haring died. There was nothing they could do for him then. Poor Rock Hudson, he was a homosexual, queer actor. I'm not acting now, but I'm a queer man myself. I prefer the word queer, just gay sounds so gay. No, but Rock Hudson took his queerness and his AIDS to the grave. But somebody knew him. Ronald Reagan knew him. They were in the Screen Actors Guild together. When that happened, it was Haitians, it was the gay cancer, and junkies, right? That was the main people who were dying of that. And it was called the gay cancer for a while, like the president called it Chinese virus. It's... God, just 3 weeks ago, waitress at Finelli's was feeling so... The racial... we're not going to Chinatown because it'd be Chinese. That's what was racist. And another Chinese waitress said, I'm not afraid of getting the virus. I'm afraid of getting punched in the face. And I hadn't even thought about that, and that's been happening a lot. But Ronald Reagan put a human face on AIDS. And it's been for everybody for a long, long time now. But like President Roosevelt couldn't walk. They couldn't photograph him not being able to walk. This is prejudice. Would somebody be elected in a wheelchair now? I don't know. Probably not. And it's an election year. And 2020 has such a great ring to it, doesn't it? It's like good vision. And I always love that quote by Washington. Let us raise a standard to which only the wise and the honest can repair. The event's in the hand of God. It's just New York, New York. I mean, 9/11, I remember that. Well, think about 9/11 was such a beautiful, beautiful day. The sky was so blue. And it rained on September 10th, I remember that, because that was the first year I started selling art out here. It was April of '01. But my dad's family depression, like 9 kids, everyone starved to death. In our house, you grew up with food. You starve once in your life, you'll never starve a second time. But to answer, we were want for nothing. But the AIDS, there's similarities. The fear, but this fear is insidious. It's walking down the street. I mean, the only way you get AIDS is, blood and semen, but not tears and sweat. And a lot of goddamn tears. 777 people died yesterday in here in this town. I can't get your head around that. I can't.
My family lives in Michigan, so I mean, I'm the only person in my family kind of like out in this area, so it's a bit weird, like, not being able to see them in person and stuff. But yeah, I don't know, it's just spooky, I'm used to the cars and traffic coming down the street all the time, and it's just, silent. You get to hear the birds, it's nice. But yeah, I mean, I hope that our, medical workers can continue to keep up. They've been fighting hard and obviously trying to save as many people as they can. And it sounds like New York and Cuomo done a alright job of handling the crisis. But I do think the federal government should have done a lot better job of, or should, they still can, do a lot better job of coordinating, the distribution of supplies and shit. I don't know why they got Kushner up there.
Yeah,
making up words and shit.
We're not wearing a mask. I realized I was doing that without a big mouth. Pardon me.
But yeah, and I mean, I don't know. We also got to get testing going. I think him and I were talking about this earlier, but it's what's the fucking point of doing a bunch of social distancing and then, we say, all right, it's been X amount of weeks and the trend line is here, but we still don't know who's infected, who's not. And,
word on the testing, exactly. That should be really.
I mean, South Korea's
everywhere.
They got drive-through and shit, and it's ready in 10 minutes.
And Flatbush set up one, I know, my old neighborhood, but that should be everywhere. It should be in the park. That's where people are. We're nowhere else but home. If you got one. Pardon me. He's right. My last name's Courtney, like Courtney Love with no love.
Okay.
Because in the hood, everything thinks it's my first name because it's a boy-girl name after all.
Got it.
But hashtag Matthew Courtney, there's a lot of documents on my life in the arts. I'm known as the newspaper man of Soho internationally. I draw in the newspaper.
Okay.
Having been a newspaper boy back in the DIY, it's about time I became a newspaper man. But it's all on there. But it started with crayons and never ended. It's cheaper than a therapist, and boy, I need it now. Art saves lives. I'm a testament to that. No question. East, young man, goes already west.
Where were you before?
Portland, Oregon.
Oh,
My best friend came here in '82, so I had to connect in East Village, $250 apartment. And it sounded like grandpa, I walk 20 miles to school every damn day. But, I was back in the your 20s, you live forever, Back when I was young and unafraid, Cutting my teeth, now I have none, and finding my voice, and I found my voice. I did that. I used to do spoken word and flipping the script of poetry a lot. Back in the day.
Yeah, let me see your artwork. I'm gonna take a picture. And then we're gonna leave
my colleague, my homie, did this one, and I, of course, got my hands all over it and made it an abstraction. So talk about collabo.
Yeah, it says concentrate, and so.
And I wasn't concentrating.
Yeah.